Welcome to the Dragon Ball family, you guys. How does it feel to join this long-running franchise?
I was,
Great.
oh yeah, I was like, sorry, who should go? Who should go
Amazing.
first?
I guess I'll take it since I talked really loudly. It's a blessing. It's an absolute dream come true. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say like this is a franchise a lot of us grew up with, a very foundational franchise, and the blessing of being able to join it in such a major way is nothing short of a dream come true, in my personal opinion.
I definitely agree with that. I remember the days of when I used to watch Dragon Ball Z Kai on Nickelodeon. That doesn't feel that long ago, but it was long ago because I was in middle school back then. I remember it would air 2 times a day, once in the morning, once later on in the afternoon, and I would set the record dates and try to make sure I recorded every single episode. And every single time I got home from middle school, that was the one thing I really looked forward to. Like Zeno said, an absolute dream come true. I've been watching this show ever since I was a kid, and now I know and am friends with Sean, Schemmel, Goku, and Chris Sabat, Vegeta, and like everybody in the entire cast who is a legacy character has been so welcoming, and it just feels incredible to be a part of it.
Yeah, this delight is so absolute that I'm going to third it. Because I feel the same way. Like I remember watching it, especially because when I work in anime, I don't necessarily watch a lot of it. So, but Dragon Ball, I knew that I watched when I was younger, and so I knew these characters and I knew this world, and so it was really thrilling and super gratifying to be able to not just be in it, but also work with the folks who are involved with it. It was just a fabulous time.
Thanks, guys. We'll pass it over to Rob.
Yeah, kind of following up on that last question. Can you guys like say what your reactions were when you got the news that you were going to like become a part of the Dragon Ball universe?
Same order, or
Yeah, let's do the same order.
I'll just do same order. Yeah.
For simplicity's sake.
Thanks, guys.
I probably almost cried. That is probably like the a understatement to say like the amount of joy that I felt. I think especially when you're in this industry and you're auditioning for a lot of things that you like had your heart set on, or like things you grew up with. Dragon Ball, I guess I never expected it. It felt like something like I would never touch, and I was okay with that. But to be getting that call that they wanted to cast me in the movie was I just like dropped to the floor, kind of wow. Like I'm just very blessed.
Absolutely freaked out. I mean, it was just the surreal moment. Yeah, when I got the call, I couldn't even believe it. It's just one of those things that is going to be life-changing, and something that was just really special to me. Like Zeno said, same thing. I never thought that, Dragon Ball has been ongoing for, I don't know, 20 something years now, right? And just never think that, that you'll be a part of that they're going to come out with a character and that you're going to get a chance to even just to audition for it. I just felt so honored and blessed just to be given that opportunity. So to be a part of it blows my mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much. I hadn't expected this to really cross my way at all, because it definitely seemed like one of those things like, oh, there's Dragon Ball way over there. Oh, I can kind of see it. Oh, yeah. Like you don't necessarily expect that to come into your area. So I was delighted to get to throw my hat in to audition for that, and a character who I play a lot of characters with beards. And I finally have another character without a beard, so I was extra delighted by that.
Now you got the pompadour guy. He's
exactly. Oh yeah, and the pompadour.
There you go.
Pompadour. Oh yeah. Low clearance.
And then Daniel at Gatecrashers.
For Zeno, you've voiced a lot of characters like Cyborg from Young Justice and Hulks from My Hero, so you're not unfamiliar with the hero game. Now, in this film, you're playing one of the superheroes. As a voice actor, for you, what goes into your perfect hero voice?
I think there has to be for a hero voice, there has to be a sense of genuineness. I don't know if that's a word, but there has to be a sense of like this person in their hearts in the right place. And I think that is something that you could use to describe Gamma 2, even though Gamma 2 is technically the villain or one of the villains of the film. When fans watch the movie, they'll instantly and immediately be able to kind of connect with the heart of the character. And I think that's what goes into voicing a hero, is that they have to sound kind and genuine and brave, even if they're not always those things. When they do mess up, those things also still come from that place.
And Carrie.
All right, a fun one for you. Your film comes out on August 19th. It's the end of summer. What would your character do for an end of summer vacation?
Gamma 2 for the end of summer. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been since he's like was born. You know, like there's a timeline of being made, but he'd probably like go to the beach for the first time. Like I feel like that's the thing he'd do, is like, what's the beach? I want to go there.
That is it's so funny. Wow, what a great question. I think that Dr. Hedo would not even, summer doesn't matter the season for him. He would be inside a laboratory, probably still working hard as ever on his research, creating new androids, creating different things. Maybe he would find a way to, I don't know, to move summer along. Maybe people are annoying outside because they're all, running and frolicking and making loud noises, and he can't focus on his research inside his laboratory. So he finds a way to destroy the sun.
It's too hot.
It's too hot. I'm melting.
Well, it depends on what the boss wants to do. I'm not entirely sure if Carmine has he's such a sort of footman or butler type character that I'm not entirely sure. If he has a day off, I don't know what he would do with it other than maybe try to come into work.
All these characters are so dedicated. They don't like fun.
They don't like fun.
They have one goal in mind.
Right? World domination. Wait for no one.
Thank you.
Rob, we'll pass it to you.
So, if you had joined the Dragon Ball family years prior, what is one character that's already been established that you would want to voice?
Oob. Nah, that's it. Oob. Okay, like to go into more detail. Oob was for me, especially because I grew up with Dragon Ball, was one of the few characters that I felt actually looked like me. So I played Oob in all the Dragon Ball. Actually, I have a little Oob statue. He's right there. But he was prior to after Gohan, because Gohan was actually my favorite character. When Oob showed up, Oob became my favorite character because he looked like me and he could fight. He could do a Kamehameha. And I thought he was really cool. And he had a cool mohawk. And he, like, when he was established, was like the strongest human like in the lore at that point, because he was the reincarnation of Boo. And yeah, so like I just thought like Oob was very foundational. I mean, learning about who I am as a person and what I like, and making me feel seen, especially in a franchise that I grew up with. So Oob, for a lot of sentimental reasons.
Ooh, so tricky. I don't want to step on anybody's toes either, but I would I have to go with a Saiyan, probably like Trunks or Goten, when Goten's older. Just the whole Super Saiyan transformation, being able to find that within yourself, like the pure of heart or pure rage. And I mean, I don't know who didn't do this as a kid, try to go Super Saiyan. I definitely didn't do that, I didn't, do that at all. But it would have to,
never.
Never. I love Gohan. It is so tricky. Maybe I'll go with like a teenage or older Goten would be really cool.
I'm gonna say Raditz.
Ooh.
I really like Raditz. I like his connection to the characters. I like his plot, as it were, and that visual is just so rad. Like it's like if Vegeta let his hair grow for a while and was maybe a little taller. So because I love Vegeta. Vegeta is one of my favorite characters. But I think Raditz would have been a lot of fun. I remember really loving that character.
And then Daniel.
This one's for Zach. Your character is the grandson of Dr. Gero, who played a pretty pinnacle part of the series of Dragon Ball Z. How do you think that legacy weighs on him? Do you think his actions are motivated by the evil in his legacy?
I think Dr. Hedo is kind of trying to forge his own path. I mean, he is a very smart character. He is a quote unquote super genius. He creates the pinnacle of technology, which is Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 in this film. I think he's just trying to do his own thing. But because he does have that legacy of Dr. Gero, maybe he's sort of I'm not sure, maybe he's sort of trying to distance himself of being in Dr. Gero's shadow and just trying to forge his own legacy.
Thank you.
And then Katie.
I am also a firm believer in fun questions. If there's anything the Dragon Ball franchise has taught us, it's that superheroes need to have a vivacious, commanding pose. So I'd love to know what your superhero poses are.
I think Gamma 2's got his down. He's got the he's Gamma 2. If there's anything Gamma 2 knows how to do was pose. Me personally, it'd probably be something similar because I feel like Gamma 2 and I share a lot of traits when it comes to our hearts and like how we feel about heroism in general, and how we feel about justice and those kinds of things. So my hero pose would probably be also, the big. I don't know what this pose is called, but
Yeah, I don't know. Mine would be like he has his little suit on. Maybe he has a little cape or something, and he's like dabbing, to the side.
Dabs on him.
Superhero pose. It is so funny going back to these poses because I feel like the first time I remember poses in the series was Ginyu Force, but maybe that's just me. And I as a kid, I would always wonder why are they doing all these poses, and now posing has somehow become like a mainstay. And then I think remember like Saiyaman,
Saiyaman.
Pose too. I don't know where the posing came from, but at first I was like, what are they doing? But now I actually kind of like it. It feels weird if they don't strike a pose.
Agreed. Honestly, yeah, the more poses the better. I'm trying to think of just something very kind of maybe the white glasses sort of like that kind of thing. Strike a pose, that kind of thing. Very, very because I'm like, oh no, a hero pose. I never play those. What do those do?
What's that like?
I'm like, well, yeah, I don't understand. So I think something along the very glasses forward kind of thing, the white lenses shining in the sun, perhaps.
Amazing. Thank you.
Those are great, guys. Rob?
So coming into these roles and having past experience in the anime world, was there any other character that you have voiced previously or any character that you've watched that you kind of took as inspiration to come into these roles and use that?
As a fan of the franchise, and knowing that this movie is particularly Gohan focused, I really wanted to kind of make Gamma 2. I took a lot of great Saiyaman hints for Gamma 2. Mostly the not the theatricality of Great Saiyaman, the I'm trying to pretend that I'm not the guy you think I am thing, but very much the heart of that, which is the heroics. Like if the Great Saiyaman was actually like a hero, what Great Saiyaman I think wanted to be metaphorically or symbolically. When I approached Gamma 2, I felt like it was a nice blend of like those two ideas. I think I tried to like mix a little bit of that in my performance.
Yeah. Does the character that we drew inspiration from have to be from the Dragon Ball universe, or it could just be kind of like anything?
No.
So for me, I guess I've played a lot of like heroes, a lot of like shonen protagonist. I am the best boy. Like I've played a lot of those characters, and this character is an absolute 180 of that. Nothing like, shonen protagonist, goody two shoes. He's kind of, he's always thinking of something else or kind of a little bit conniving. But I drew inspiration, funny enough, from Gru from Despicable Me. I think Dr. Hedo very much is like a young mini Gru. He is, I guess, not, he's evil, but he also has good intentions. You know what I mean? At the same time, he does things that aren't not necessarily what a hero would do, not perfect, but there's a reason for it, right?
I guess it's interesting because when I auditioned for Carmine, initially it was something very low. It was much lower than what we ended up with, and what we ended up with was more or less my own voice. But we wanted there to be he speaks perhaps more clearly than I do, like very deliberately and very straightforwardly. Just everything about him is just very neat and very articulate and deliberate. So I based some of that on some family members who, while not evil, are very articulate and very sort of upfront and driven. And if I have something to say to you, I am going to speak to you directly, like very much that kind of thing. And given Carmine's position, I suppose that only fits that he has to be as, up forward and upfront as possible and very clear.
So over the journey of the years and years that Dragon Ball's been going on, Gohan went from being the next greatest thing, he was going to be the top of the world, to then when the next time we saw him, he decided to focus on studying. How does it feel to finally get Gohan's time to shine?
It's fantastic because, he is finished studying everything. He knows everything there is to know in life. He found out the meaning of life. He found out why we're all here in the cosmos. And it's like, I'm shutting the door on that. And now I'm going to focus on what I'm really meant to do. That's basically it. No, we've been waiting for years as fans of this. And obviously it's a huge opportunity to see a literal evolution, as we've seen of so many different story points and everything. So this is an exciting time to be a Dragon Ball fan for sure.
Right. Daniel?
So food has had a huge place in the Dragon Ball franchise. So I just wanted to ask you, what's your favorite sandwich?
Are you asking all of us or Kyle?
All three of you.
The Gobbler from Wawa. The Gobbler
Beautiful.
is a hoagie. It's Wawa in the Northeast. It's a hoagie that has every single thing you'd have. So it's got turkey and cranberry and dressing and beets. I mean,
John's about to do a how-to for you.
What's that?
I was about to say you're about to do a how-to video. I feel like this is about to turn into some sort of Instagram video.
I'm not saying how to do it, but the Gobbler is basically a turkey dinner on a hoagie, and they sell it during Thanksgiving time at Wawa, but they don't have Wawa here in LA, so I can't get them anymore. But the Wawa, the Gobbler is my favorite sandwich. What about you, Kyle? Chris doesn't eat sandwiches. He only eats shabu-shabu. Chris, he doesn't eat sandwiches.
I only eat Japanese food. I eat my favorite sandwich probably like a great tuna melt from a deli in New York or something.
And there's a sub story here that you can ask us about later, where Chris and I have
a sub story, is in like
no, not a Subway sandwich story, but a sub story where Chris and I have a unique relationship in that we're very good friends. We have a lot of things we have in common, but we're almost exact opposites when it comes to food. So much so that I will probably get sick if Chris. It's really weird because he's definitely a foodie. And he definitely picks great restaurants, and it will be like this opposite. He's like, I hate this, and I'm like, I love it. It's really strange, but that's a different interview. What do you eat, Kyle?
My answer would be from Jimmy John's, the unwich version, unwich, like lettuce wrap version, the Italian. Just love it. I load it up with peppers and everything. I like a little spice, not like a little kick.
I'm gonna have that with you next time.
Hey, please do.
Kyle. Okay.
Yes.
Carrie and Katie?
Thank you. I'll take it. For Chris, for one, we have Piccolo back in the spotlight, and that is exciting, and I would love to know your thoughts on that. And for another, you were at both the San Diego Comic-Con and the Crunchyroll Expo panels where fans were able to see the first 20 minutes of the movie. Is there anything that surprised or excited you about the fan reaction to the first part of this movie?
I was lucky enough to be there with the Japanese partners from Shueisha and Toei sitting backstage as it played at San Diego Comic-Con. And it was amazing to hear the crowd's reaction, especially to the humor of the first 20 minutes. Because the one thing that people didn't really know about what they were watching is that any of you who've seen this movie, is that the first 22 minutes of the film are vastly different than the remaining part of the film. So the first 22 sets up a lot of things, and there's a lot of great humor. And I loved how everyone appreciated how Piccolo holds his phone, or his phone case, or his interesting relationship with these plushies that you'll see in the film. And what character is that? I think people really understood it and really got into kind of and it's what the humor, which is what Akira Toriyama, I think, likes to do most in his films. So I loved seeing people's reaction to that.
Thank you.
Rob.
I probably know you guys will get this question a lot, but I have to ask for myself since I have Gohan, Goku, and Piccolo here. Who is Gohan's true dad?
Piccolo.
Piccolo. Definitely Piccolo.
Notice how fast my answer was.
I was fast.
Grandpa Gohan.
Grandpa Gohan.
No. They didn't have to wait very long for that answer.
I mean, if
like
you
Piccolo,
Goku doesn't even
Piccolo's
think
the
about
best,
them the whole
most
film.
nurturing character in the show. He's
Yes,
really like, and as you'll see in this film, he's depended on quite a bit by everyone in Gohan's family as well. It becomes very clear that Gohan and Videl lean on Piccolo quite a bit for their everyday.
He's the only one holding the ship together,
activities. Man. Yeah, it's true.
It ain't easy being green.
I mean, even Bulma's worried about, what she looks like. She's
that is very true. He's kept it real from the beginning.
Yeah, man. I've been a Piccolo fan since day one, and I have an autographed Piccolo action figure that Chris gave me in 2002 when I moved to New York that I still have sitting on my Chris Sabat shrine of things he's given me. And so I've been a Piccolo fan since the get-go. So
it's a small shrine, just FYI.
Daniel.
So I do have to piggyback off of the fact that Piccolo is not his dad, but he is the father who stepped up. Chris, have you found a lot of fans connecting with that story or admiring what Piccolo has done for Gohan?
100%. There's a lot of people who have come to me talking about the Piccolo figure that existed in their life, like the uncle or the family member or the person that stepped up for them and was kind of a surrogate father when their father was either too busy or preoccupied or something. Like there's people who get very emotional about Piccolo and Gohan's relationship, and I'm moved by it too, because your impact on another person doesn't necessarily have to necessarily be your own offspring. It could be anyone you choose to kind of nurture and take care of. I mean, maybe don't use the same techniques that Piccolo did with Gohan early on. I wouldn't recommend stealing a child and taking them into the woods and letting them fend for themselves. But there are a lot of lessons that can be learned about, being the type of person that somebody needs for their own growth.
All right. Carrie and Katie.
Yeah, so your characters power up for different challenges they face. What is something you wish you could power up for in your real life to accomplish? For all of you.
I'm processing about 5 non-answers that I can't.
Kyle, what are your thoughts?
Dude, just like career goals. I just want to power up into more big animation projects and get to voice with the heroes in the VO community that we've long idolized for decades. That would be amazing.
I would be very selfish with my power-ups. I would just use it to focus in the morning. I would take to get a cup of strong coffee and then power up just a little bit to get me through the afternoon. You know.
Yeah, I would like to
a
control
full
my own
transformation.
Brain. I would like to be able to control my own brain. Yeah, that would help.
I want to be able to control Sean's brain.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
You control my brain better than I do, Chris. Thank you for that, by the way, over the years. But we've all known each other over 20 years now, so it's Kyle, you're frozen. Did we lose you, bro? No, you're there.
No, I'm just that still.
Man, you're that still. And then it went out of focus, and I thought, is Kyle instant transmissioning somewhere? Is he?
Yeah.
We all know how to do it. Don't let anyone, all these people, hey, Crunchyroll, these people need to have their brains wiped. They know secrets now.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Back to Rob.
I love that. I love that, Sean.
I like this thing. That's great.
So whether your character was involved in it or not, what would be your favorite Dragon Ball moment through all of the series?
Oh God! Well, some of them favorite moments are in the new movie. I can't tell you because the dragon says possibly my favorite line in the whole movie. But favorite moments that are even not mine. Oh my God! There's so many. You guys go first. I'm thinking. I just spewed that one out, but I'm trying to think of another one.
In the Dragon Ball series, go ahead, Kyle. Sorry,
I'm going to say some slice and dice action from Trunks with the sword.
Yes, that's a good one.
Pretty epic.
That's pretty epic. The driving episode, the baseball episode. Anytime there's comedy or slice of life stuff, in Dragon Ball Super, when Goku overhears that Vegeta's training somewhere else with Vegeta. I mean, Vegeta's playing, not Vegeta. Sorry, Goku's training with Beerus and Whis, and he does the Kool-Aid moment and he busts through the wall. Vegeta's doing what? Like those kind of moments, or when Goku fakes getting a fight with Mr. Satan so he can hide from Chi-Chi, and he's a bad actor. Anytime I love the comedy. I'm a big fan of all the comedy in Dragon Ball. So I mean, I love the epic moments, but they're painful. Comedy's fun.
I love probably Majin Vegeta. Anything Vegeta's redemption story against Majin Buu is probably the peak of Dragon Ball Z awesomeness, in my opinion. But I mean, I could be biased, but I think a lot of people would agree with me.
Everyone would agree with you.
Even Sean.
Because Chris knows he's got the best character, really.
I know, it sucks. It sucks for you, doesn't it? You're only Goku. Oh, what a shame, Sean.
It's not a shame. It's the best.
I'm joking.
I know. No, I know.
Daniel.
Hey, so with this film being a real spotlight on Piccolo and Gohan, how would you describe the relationship where it is right now, Kyle and Chris? Like, where are they at in the evolution of their bond?
Well, I can say that Gohan trusts Piccolo so innately. It's just like breathing. It's just like, hey, I trust you to step up when I can't step up. I'm too busy studying, so can you do this and take care of Pan and do all that stuff? It's like, I mean, maybe he's overstepping bounds. I don't know. It's like, is he taking advantage? But I mean, that core amount of respect and love is there, and it's never gone away. And to showcase that how strong it is now, as just as strong, if not stronger, than from the Cell Saga, that's just great to see.
Yeah, you see Piccolo twice in this movie make his opinion about Gohan's evolution very clear. I love the moments where he looks back at the camera and he'll be like, yes, you know what I mean? Like he's so excited for Gohan. And he does something to Gohan in this film that you don't do to somebody unless you are pretty sure that you are have a pretty good relationship with that person. Like what essentially Piccolo does to help Gohan power up in this film is not something you would get away with unless you have a very, very tight relationship with another human being.
That's
or
true.
Alien or whatever they are.
Carrie and Katie.
Great. I'm a firm believer in fun questions. So if there's one thing the Dragon Ball franchise has taught us, it's that every superhero needs to have a vivacious, commanding pose. So I would love to see your superhero poses.
Right now? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I have this alter ego called Robust Man that comes out every once in a while, but it's more just the whole
That's good, Sean. Can you stand up and show us a little? Show us
I
that.
am Robust Man. No.
And he sings opera too. Wow.
And I've got special effects in my voice that allow me to do that as a professional voice actor.
So cool.
Yeah, mine's more of like this. It's a kind of a sort of semi-dab, but it's like this sort of thing, but you freeze there. That's where I would be.
I'm just a lifelong metal hard rock fan, so I'm like, yeah, metal. You know, just
yeah.
I like that, Kyle.
Thank you. Yeah.
What's your favorite band, Kyle, currently?
That's tough. I love Lamb of God currently.
Oh yeah, they're great. Yeah.
Not a Lamb fan.
I just got a Marshall head in the mail, so I was rocking earlier, like a Marshall. Oh, we have more questions. I'm sorry, I don't want to dig.
Yeah, Rob.
As a journalist, I have to ask a question like this. Is there anything about this film that you can tell me that you haven't spoke about?
Well, could you be more specific? Like that we haven't spoke about?
Is there anything either working on the film, a memory from that, anything that you can talk about in the film?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about subject matter of the film. We really can't reveal spoilers, but I can tell you one of the things I've noticed. I'm in a unique position in the sense that my character is not featured, and I am totally okay with that, and I love it, and I'm so proud of this cast because. And it wouldn't have come together without Chris. I mean, he directed the film, and it might be the best dub we've ever done. It is. Everyone's performing at 110% of their ability. Nobody sounds off. Everybody sounds perfect. And it's so exciting to see other characters and other actors be in the hot seat and get their time. And so for me going into it to record, I knew my job was going to be fairly easy compared to, say, the work I did on Broly. And so I was very heavily emotionally invested in everybody's, and it's not my place. I'm not the director, but Chris is generous enough to kind of let me in behind the scenes, let me know how things were going as the production was going. He would keep me posted and let me hear some things maybe in advance. And I'm just so excited about this film from the perspective of, I think one of the things that makes me really excited is we have several new cast members. And what I thought was really interesting about it is Chris and Kyle and myself have all been on the show over 20 years. And Alex Lee, who's playing one of the Gammas, I asked him when he was born, and he was born in 99. And that's when I started on this show. So we have this new generation of cast, and then we have our legacy cast, and it all comes together so seamlessly, which is not an accident. That comes from Chris's brain. And I'm super grateful that he was directing this film, and just it really. And I know everybody who knows me knows I don't do bull. I don't do sunshine up your butt or anything. If it sucked, I would probably go, it's a good film, and I wouldn't say much, but I'm telling you glowingly, it is might be the very best dub we've ever done. It is spectacular.
And then
Chris and Kyle in particular are spectacular.
Sean.
Go ahead, Chris.
I trust Sean's opinion. Sean made it very clear that I was supposed to tell him exactly who I was casting, and didn't have approval rights, but
I did not have approval
wanted
rights.
them. But clearly wanted them, so I was very clear to keep Sean in the loop. But I will say, Sean, after hearing when he came in to record, he had heard an early version of one of the characters that I really don't want to kind of go into just yet, but of one of the characters, and he said, "Does that character sound like? Is there something weird about that character? Because there's a new character in it, Dr. Hedo. Actually, I'll just be specific, who was a very difficult." Yes, it was
Zach
very
had drawn the same
difficult to wrap
conclusion.
there's a new character. His name is Dr. Hedo, and he's very, very difficult to understand the nature of. He has no real robust backstory. We weren't really given a lot of information about him. You can research his name. It means vomit or something. It's like a really strange character. And on the one hand, he's supposed to be kind of repulsive and sneaky, but on the other hand, he's supposed to be incredibly likable, especially by the end of the film. And so finding that balance was difficult. And Zach Aguilar, who plays Dr. Hedo, was one of the first characters to record on the movie. And so he literally just popped in, and when you're first dubbing, you kind of you're building these pieces, and Zach was one of the first pieces of the puzzle. And when Sean heard it, he was like, "Are you sure it's not a little too mustache twirly at the beginning?"
Well, I just thought it was a little too on the nose early on.
And you were right.
Yeah,
He was right. And I called Zach in to kind of do some some pickups with him, and I think it made the first 20 minutes of the film infinitely better because he's supposed to carry that entire
And you know,
scene.
Zach,
And
I talked to Zach about that, and he said he had drawn the same conclusion and was worried about it because I don't ever want to step on another actor's toes. It's their creative process. But you guys asked for my opinion, and I gave it.
There was a lot of feedback. Like the gammas, the two gamma robots, Zeno and Alex Lee. They're really good friends, and one of them got to watch the other perform. And they were giving each other ideas, and he would pop back in the booth to record something different if they thought of a better way.
You know what's interesting about your casting choice of those two guys is that they don't have a ton of backstory either, but because of Alex's vocal choice and Zeno's vocal choice, I always get his name wrong because of the Zennies. That you can hear their personalities within their voice acting and their vocal choices without and knowing what they're about without even knowing their personalities, which is a brilliant casting choice. And I remember Zach telling me after we did those pickups, he was like, more than any other dub he's worked on, the level of care that goes into this show and the detail that goes into the show, he's never ever experienced. And I very, politely said, yeah, that's been that way since day one. For some reason, this show insists that you care about it deeply. We can't even help it. You just have to. I mean, don't you agree, Kyle, Chris? I mean, you cannot half-ass Dragon Ball at all. You just can't. And so we've done that for a long time, and Zach noticed it. And it's so nice I don't have children myself, so I kind of look at these young voice actors as kind of the up-and-coming kids, and it's fun to potentially mentor them and to have that kind of relationship with Zach and talk to him about it and keep me involved like that. It's just the team came together just like it should, and it just turned out it really might be the best stuff we've ever done. It's that spectacular. It's really great. It makes me cry think about it. I don't even want to cry on camera right now, but yeah, it's great.